Alright, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodesh. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone, and a sincere peace and salutations to all the Akim that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. I want to continue on in the episode, The Milk. This will be episode 7, Lord's willing. And I want to entitle it Prisoners of the Flesh. Now, this ain't basic lesson or breakdown like the other ones have been, but it's still pretty basic. It's pretty much Israelite 101, you know, because when you come into the truth, that's pretty much what you become, prisoners of the flesh. We all are prisoners of the flesh. Like every Israelite is a prisoner of the flesh, but you start to feel the war, and this is the real fight. You know, it's basic, you know, but it's not basic. But I'm gonna just get right into it, you know, just to got some scriptures lined up, you know, just to prove that, you know, there is a spirit in man. Just real quick, this is Job 32:8, and it says, "But there's a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding." Right, that's when you coming into the truth, you know. But that you get the understanding, you know, you become to get the understanding. But the point is, there's a spirit in man, you know. There's a spirit inside of this flesh, you know. And got another scripture. This is 1 Peter's. It's 1 Peter 3:18. It says, "For Hamashiach also have once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he may bring us to the Most High, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, by which also he went to preach unto the spirits in prison." Now, he didn't. When it says that he went to preach unto the spirits in prison, he's talking about the men of the Lord, which now we are those spirits in prison, you know, because they wasn't literally in prison. It was, the prison was their flesh, you know, and that's pretty much what we are going through now, you know, and that's the way you're supposed to fight, you know. When the real quick, let me get it. Because that's what Paul was talking about in the book of Timothy's. Let me try to find it real quick. I believe it's. Yeah, this is 1 Timothy 6:12. It says, "Fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art called, and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses." How do you fight the good fight? Is by giving attendance to reading. You know, the brother did a video of the power of the assembly, which I can attest to. That truly holds power. The scripture says, "When 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst." And when you're around Akim, man, you just, you know, it's really not a feeling you can always bring to words. You know, like that's how you grow. That's how you identify the spirit, because in Romans 7. Romans 7:23. Salaki. This is Romans 7:23. It says, "But I see another." No. Let me read up. This is Romans 7:18. It says, I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. It says, for the good that I would do not. It says, for the good that I would do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Right. That's him talking about the flesh when he say, for the good that I will do, I do not. For the good that he want to do is this what the Spirit wants to do. And then it says, but the evil which I would not, the evil which he don't want to do, that he do. Meaning the flesh is winning against the Spirit. You know? So when you're in this world and you're indulging yourself into the things that the old man used to do, which is just yourself when you didn't have the understanding, like people out here that don't have this understanding, their spirits are dead. Their spirits are that's why they're the dead bodies, man. They're the dry bones. There's no lively spirit inside of them, you know. When you get this understanding, the scriptures say, prepare yourself for temptation. The temptation is the what's the scripture say? Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. When you become wise, you get in that understanding. You know? So you learn that you're being oppressed. You know? And you learn all these things, and your spirit wants to start to do good when you start to get the understanding, because you want to do the things that's well pleasing unto the Most High. You know, but then your flesh is so used to being wicked. Your flesh is wicked, you know, so your spirit is going to try to fight that, you know. Keep reading in Romans. It says, now if I do that I would not, it is no more that I do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. You know, he's saying it's the flesh that has him doing all these things, you know, because he don't want to do it. It says, I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. So even when he's doing good, evil is still present because of what? The flesh, you know? And that sounds like a what? It sounds like a prison, man. You know? You being held captive. Let me see. I said captive. Real quick, let me get that. This is James Salaki. This is James 4:1. It says, from whence come wars and fighting among you? Come they not hence? No. Nah, Salakia. That's not what I was looking for. James. Well, you know, Spirit bring it back if it come back. It says, verse 21 again. It says, I then find a law when I would do good, evil is present with me. Yeah, that's the flesh, like I was talking about. It says, for I delight in the law of the Most High after the inward man. Right, after the inward man, which is the spirit. You know, it says, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members. Right. Your members are a part of your body, being the flesh, you know, and that's warring against is warned against him. Against him. And it says, and bringing me into captivity. Captivity, which is prison. Being held captive. His flesh is warned against his spirit, bringing him into captivity. That's why we're prisoners of flesh. It's somewhere in the next chapter. Right, but pretty much, that's pretty much what the point is. We're being prisoners of the flesh, and we gotta fight that fight to start to strengthen the spirit. I want to read 8:2, Romans 8:2. It says, "For the law of the Spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahushua had made me free from the law of sin and death. For what the law could not do, and that it was weak through the flesh." Right, because we couldn't uphold the law in this flesh, because our flesh right, we were weak. This flesh is weak, so the only way we're going to be saved is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Al-Shah, the spirit that he give us, and we got to continue to build our own spirit and fight this flesh, or we'll be out. And most people are not strong enough to fight this spiritual fight, of breaking this stronghold. And when we do, even when we do be delivered, we're not gonna be in this flesh, because this flesh is corruptible. And I'm gonna get that and close out. This is 1 Corinthians 15 and 53. It says, "For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass, saying that it was written, death is swallowed up in victory." Death being this flesh, and that's the way you get to this point, is by building the flesh. And how do you do that? Real quick, this is Ephesians 4:20. It says, "But ye have not learned so." It says, "But ye have not so learned Hamashiach. If so, be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Yahushua, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind." That's how we win this fight. Is by being renewed in the spirit of mind, and continuing on giving attendance to reading, learn how to study, and fellowship with the brotherhood, because there's power in assembly, but that's pretty much the basic of the milk. This milk episode is that we are prisoners of this flesh, and that the flesh is always is your biggest demon. Your flesh you are your biggest demon, because your flesh is the wicked you, and you got to put off that old man. It says, "And be renewed in the spirit of your mind." This is verse 24. It says, "And that ye put on the new man, which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness. That the new man is the way of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, you know, seeking what's well pleasing unto him. You know? But that's pretty much it, you know. I know it's more on that topic that I can get to. I was trying to keep it as basic as possible. But that's you know, for Akim coming into this truth, that's what these milk videos are for. You know, it's important to understand that there's a fight going on, and there's a spiritual fight. For the scriptures say, let me just get it real quick. This is Ephesians 6:12, and it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, and against principalities, against powers." But Shalaki, it says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Now, the point is, we're not fighting a physical battle. You know, we're fighting a spiritual battle, and it really starts and ends with yourself, of how you fought your own flesh. You know, your spirit is who you truly are, and who you are is being held by this corruptible bodies. So we gotta build our mind up and do what we're told to be free. But you know, that's all I got. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Chakadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutation to all the Akim pushing this word of truth and sincerity. Shalom.